were actually of the amazing philosophy. That is Anvikshiki. In Sankhya, it's described in the Arthashastra. So Prabhupada was sharing yesterday how systems, and this means they are they are not being with the standard. It's a big topic actually. When we start study people before what is called law. Many deep, I mean, it takes years actually. So, in other words, Prabhupada is also making this point here in that organization to qualified head and try to engage devotees by their wealth they may have in Krishna. So it means everything is based proper and in the context of that education must be in keeping with what is called education given in the Shastra. You see, we speak about Sanatan Dharma. It is based on concepts and principles. It is not that now that we are in the 21st century, or we the material nature from one yuga to another, and the basic modes of material nature and society in a particular way. So, of course, of modern society, because so far meant to be that is what Srila Prabhupada and wanted that we address. We focus on full dimension of Dharma actually has two main levels, both of which cannot or should not be neglected, isn't it? There is the spiritual level of dharma, which is the science of the soul. And then there is the other, also very important, to do with how to work with, or how to live in harmony with the external energy, material energy, how to utilize properly material energy, and how to arrange society in such a way that there can be the maximum opportunity for individuals to actually attain or reach what is meant to be the real goal of life, which is self-realization. So dharma is like very fundamental for both of these levels, and for those who are meant to be leaders, these two levels need to be understood nicely. So looks like we have, maybe 2 days left. But at one point here, Prabhupada will, I thought we would cover that yet, but we haven't come. Prabhupada will speak about how individuals are meant to be trained, or how they will be selected, how we will identify individuals, whether they belong to this particular group or that particular group. Of course, many of our devotees don't even think that that's important, because we as devotees generally, we're devotees. But when you start dealing with the material energy, with the outside world, well, we're all have to be more in terms of be visionaries, be knowledgeable about Shastra. It means the Brahmanas. Yeah. We cannot avoid these things. And Prabhupada's desire also was that simultaneously, as we promote the essence of Krishna consciousness, which means bhakti or devotional service, that we also introduce the standard organizational structure of Varna and Asrama to facilitate individuals to progress or advance in their Krishna consciousness. So any thoughts or comments on any of what we heard?
Is there some significance on this number 12? Yes, speaking about 12, we should be at least 12 devotees in one community.
Yeah, just like in India, they have what is called Panchayat. 5. Prabhupada mentions 12, but it means some. It could be 12, it could be 10, it could be. I don't think one has to be rigid with the number 12. Prabhupada does mention 12, but when Prabhupada first established his GBC, Governing Body Commission, I think there were 11. Maybe Prabhupada was the 12th one. But it's kind of interesting also how Lord Jesus had 11 disciples. Yeah. I heard, I've not looked into that deeply, how, of course, in previous times, even in the village, at the village level, when monarchy was prevailing, so it was a king, but the king doesn't rule alone, right? And there's this is all nicely presented also in this, the science of governance, right? And we call it Dandaniti, science of politics, actually. that there needs to be, they're called 7 constituents for a kingdom. Kingdom means, could be either a country or could be a village. To be actually successful, there are 7 constituents. Like, this is really standard knowledge that that we don't teach, that we generally don't know about, because we're not sufficiently taking out from Srila the kind of wealth of knowledge and information that is there, you know. So definitely there needs to be some, you know, a certain amount of individuals who will be responsible for governing the affairs of any community. But because monarchy kind of became a problem in Kali Yuga, everything becomes a problem in Kali Yuga. And then from monarchy is very much, you know, the recent departure of Queen Elizabeth. So much discussion there as to how, yeah, we should completely abolish monarchy. But, you know, from our perspective, monarchy is the ideal system of governance, because in monarchy there are qualified individuals. As I mentioned before, there's a whole series of subject matters and a whole discipline involved also to train a prince, for example, to train someone as the actual leader. So so yeah, we have sometimes devotees, that's, we could say, part of the problem. Some devotees feel that, why do we have to study and bother with all these things? Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy is there, of course, and that should be our primary focus. At the same time, we you know, the proof that we've not properly understood is that we don't have communities in general. We have a few, but very few around the world. And I mean, successful communities. What is a successful community? Where you have a group of individuals who are ideal in character, governing, and where that particular community is getting closer and closer to the ideals of self-sufficiency by growing their own food, by not depending on outside, etc., like that. Where are such communities? We have, but very, very, very few.
We also cannot chant Hare Krishna and be happy unless we understand these things.
They're interconnected, because we're going to be bashing our head against so many things, because the how to blend these two. This is our big challenge, I would say, right now within our society. How to blend what is called Bhagavad Dharma and Varnasrama Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma meaning primarily the science of the soul, the emphasis on bhakti, on devotional service. And of course, Varnasrama Dharma means how to organize ourselves, how to organize society. You know, it's interesting how there are people who are not devotees. I was just mentioning that to our Rishi about, what was it? The agrarian vision. One person, some Thompson something in America, he wrote this book called, I have not read it, The Agrarian Vision. means there's a group of people, I'm sure not only in America, who are promoting agrarian life. Vedic culture is based on agrarian life. We tend to forget that, or we have never understood this point that Vedic culture is because a Vedic economy is an economy based on Rishi Goraksha. That's described in this Chaturvidya. Varta means the science of economics, but reference that definition is there in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishi Goraksha Vanijam Vaisha Karma Swabhavajam. That is meant to, so if we know this, and if we are actually convinced that actually this is what it should, this is how it should be in order for any society to be happy, to be successful, to be prosperous, then we would be making an endeavor. But the whole world actually is, the leaders in the world today, the general leaders, the politicians, they have no idea about this because their whole concept of economy is completely different. The real sustainable economy, where one is only dealing with tangible goods, not what has been happening in the last so many decades since the middle 20th century, when America decided that the dollar is, the universal currency, and therefore everybody has to bow down. Whatever other commodity tangible that won't, So therefore, this whole topic in itself is um, important, especially like for the grihastha. They have economic, they have a family, they have responsibility. Of course, in the Bhagavatam, it also mentions that overly preoccupied, and they should really keep things. The thing is that there needs to